So let's start this section with one of the easiest topic, that is default parameters. Okay, so let's get into it. So as this is a new section, so obviously you need to go to the GitHub and you need to bring your GitHub files, and then you need to set it up. As you can see, mine are already set up. I've already started them using the live server as well. So make sure you are ready with it, and then let's do it. And I'll be using the theme which we have used in the previous section, that is coding school. Okay, so let's start by creating a function. So here what we will do, we will be like booking the classes in the coding school. So obviously one coding school offers multiple courses, right? Like multiple programming languages to learn. So here we will be creating a function which will book the particular course. So I'll name it as booked courses, or let's say book course, and then here we'll pass course name, and then number of students, and then the price of the course price. Okay, so now let me quickly create an object, let's say booked course. And what I will do, I'll simply pass these parameters as keys in this. And you can see already, like we have used the objects, and I'm just passing a single variable. That means it will convert it into the key value pairs, as we have learned already in one of the previous lectures. Okay, so the next one, and yeah, now let's log it. Booked course. Okay, and here let me create an array, let's say booked courses data is an empty array, and let's actually push it as well. Dot push. Okay, so here I'll be pushing the objects which we are creating here. So as you can see, what we will be doing, we will be passing the parameters, and then we are framing an object based on that, and then we are logging it in the console, and we are pushing it into the booked courses array. So now what is the default parameters? So default parameters are the ones which are used when you don't pass any value in the argument of a function. Okay, so let's say you haven't passed anything for this variable, then it will be initially set as undefined. Okay, and then here comes the default parameter into picture. So what it does, it picks the truthy value which you define here, or like here inside the function. Okay, so let's see the booked courses without passing any uh, value first. Okay, so as you can see, I haven't passed anything, neither this nor this nor this. Okay, so we are getting undefined for all the values. Okay, and this is what we don't want, right? And obviously in real world this is not how it works. So if I pass course name, let's say JavaScript, and then as you can see, we are getting JavaScript, but rest of things we are still getting undefined. So let me show you the ES5 way, or the way which we use to uh, implement the default parameters before ES6. Okay, so let me write it here quickly. ES5 way. So in ES5 way, if you remember, like we have used short circuiting in one of the previous lectures, right? So we can make use of that to implement the default parameters in ES5 way. And how we will do that? We will simply reassign the parameter values with the through the values. Okay. So what we have to do, if we are getting any value in this, then we are assigning this, or we are going to assign, let's say, Python. Okay. So default value I'm assigning as Python. And same we have to do for the students. If we are getting any students, then we have to assign them. Otherwise, we have to assign some value. For now, I'll assign 1. Okay. And course price, let's say I'll assign as 100. Okay. So now, as you can see, I haven't passed anything here except the course name. Okay. But now we are getting the default values here. We are not getting undefined anymore. Okay. So this is how the default parameters works before the ES6. And as you can see, it looks like some unnecessary ugly boilerplate code, right? So this is how it works before the ES6, or we can say it is just a workaround. Okay. So now let me show you how it will work in after ES5 or in ES6. Okay, let me quickly comment it out. Yeah. So in ES6, what you have to do is you simply need to use an equals to sign, and then you have to use the value which you want to assign, or it can be any expression which you can bind here. Okay. So here I'll pass this. Yeah. Now let's see what we are getting. Okay, great. So again, we are getting the same thing, right? And as you can see, it looks way beautiful, and it's way cleaner than the one which we have used earlier, right? So this is how we use the default parameters. So what else we can do with the default parameters? Let's say I wanna use an expression here. Let's say I wanna use into 20. Okay. So it can be literally any expression which you can use to set as a default parameter. Okay. So as you can see, we are getting 2000 here. And what if I want to use like uh, the other parameter to calculate the dynamic price of the course? Let's say if the student number increases, I want to increase the price as well. Then how we can do that? Let me show you. So let's use multiplied by students. Okay. So this way we can also use the parameter which was defined before the one where we are going to use the expression. Okay. So this one is defined before this one. That is why we are able to use this students here. It can't work this way. It won't work this way. Let me show you. Because JavaScript assigns these parameters in the sequence. So if it reaches students, then in that point of time, it doesn't know about the course prices variable at all. Okay. So you will get some error like this. Like before initiation, we are calling so and so. Okay. So we can't use the parameter before it reaches that. Okay. So we can only use it after we have initialized it or after it is set. Okay. So now let's do that. So here again we will use JavaScript. Let's say we use 20 students and we don't pass any course value. So as you can see, the course price differs here. Let's use another one, and here we'll use 25. And here as you can see, the course price also differs here dynamically, right? So this is how you can set the default parameters. It's nice and simple. And there's one last thing I wanted to show you guys. So you guys might be thinking like, can we skip the middle parameter to pass the third parameter? And the answer is not. You cannot. Okay. So if you skip, it will still pass, uh, it will still map the second parameter with the students. Okay. It won't map this one with the course price. So let's say if you have set the default students as this, and then you haven't set any price, any course price. Okay. And you think like, I have set it as default, so I can skip it and I can pass this as the course price, so it won't work. As you can see, you will get undefined here. It is still mapping to the students. Okay. So we can do a nice trick here to achieve that thing. So initially I have shown you like, if you don't pass any value for any of these parameters, it will be undefined, right? So why don't we just pass undefined directly like this? So what this means, it means you are not setting any value of that particular parameter. Okay. So as you can see, it is again picking the default value of the students, right? So here it is 20, that's why it is picking 20. Otherwise, it is picking 1 every time, right? So this way, what will happen? It goes into the function, it will check like, this parameter has value set to be undefined. So it will pick the truthy value which you have passed, or you have set as a default value for that particular parameter. Okay. So this is all about the default parameters in the functions, and I hope you guys like it because it is short and simple, and obviously easy to learn. Okay, so this is it about this lecture. So see you in the next one.